Delegations from the United States and Iran have agreed to hold further indirect nuclear talks next week after concluding their first round of discussions in Muscat, Oman. The Iranian Foreign Ministry described Saturday's meeting as constructive and respectful. Chief negotiators from both sides briefly spoke in the presence of Omani Foreign Minister Badr al-Busaidi, who acted as mediator between the two delegations. The U.S. was represented by Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, while Iran's delegation was led by Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and senior officials from the Foreign Ministry. The White House issued a statement calling the talks positive and confirmed that both sides would reconvene next Saturday. While President Trump previously referred to the talks as direct, Iran has maintained that the negotiations are strictly indirect and limited to its nuclear program, excluding its ballistic missile development and regional alliances.
I have spoken to both the president and also his national security team who will be engaged in these discussions. These will be direct talks with the Iranians, and I want to make that very clear. I also spoke to the president just last night about his goal when it comes to Iran, and he has reiterated repeatedly to all of you publicly and also privately to his team here at the White House, his ultimate goal and the ultimate objective is to ensure that Iran can never obtain a nuclear weapon. The president believes in diplomacy, direct talks, talking directly in the same room in order to achieve that goal, but he's made it very clear to the Iranians, and his national security team will as well, that all options are on the table, and Iran has a choice to make. You can agree to President Trump's demand, or there will be all hell to pay, and that's how the president feels. He feels very strongly about it.
And Trump reiterated that Iran must not obtain nuclear weapons, stating that failure to reach a deal could lead to military action. Secretary of State Marco Rubio also underscored that Iran will not be allowed to possess nuclear capability.
An important meeting, thanks to you, is going to happen on Saturday. For the first time in a long time, there'll be direct talks between Ambassador Witkoff and a top-level leader in Iran. We hope that'll lead to peace. You've been very clear what Iran is never going to have is a nuclear weapon, and I think that's what led to this meeting, and we'll wait for him to come back from it.
Iran continues to insist its nuclear activities are for civilian use. However, it has warned of leaving the Non-Proliferation Treaty and expelling IAEA inspectors if Western pressure increases. The 2015 nuclear accord placed limits on Iran's uranium enrichment in exchange for sanctions relief. That deal collapsed after the U.S. unilaterally withdrew in 2018 and reimposed sanctions. Recent market activity in Iran showed slight recovery following the talks, reflecting cautious optimism for a diplomatic outcome. European powers have urged continued dialogue, while China and Russia have opposed Western pressure on Iran at international forums.